Hey guys, John Loxley here, back with our playthrough slash walkthrough of Subnautica. So last time we saw the, well, we saw what happened to the Sunbeam, unfortunately, and, well, that's, you know, it has to happen. It has to happen. So I did actually post, a few days ago, a video of what happens if you don't activate the radio, and you just go and basically beat the game first, before the Sunbeam contacts you. You know, you guys can go watch it. I highly recommend at least seeing it, because I don't think, when I posted it, I wasn't able to find a video of someone else doing it. I just found lots of clickbait stuff. But if you don't want to go watch it, that's cool too. I'm basically going to tell you what's going to happen, which is, so instead of the Sunbeam coming in and getting blown up, they're just like, hey, Aurora, you know, we found your signal, but there's too much debris orbiting around the planet, so, you know, we're not gonna be able to pass through that, so we're gonna head home. You know, we'll let Altera know. Sorry. And that's basically it. And it's, well, I mean, they're not real people, but it's like, which is better? You know, the death and sacrifice and that sort of thing, or them surviving. So, I don't know, you know, I have my preference. You guys are free to choose your own. Let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of curious. I don't know why I like this music so much. Right, so little radio icon letting us know that yes, you do have a radio signal. So this is where we ended last time. Right, oh, and the sun's coming up already. Well, that's cool. So let's go check out this alien base. As far as stuff, we have a lot of things to go through, but we'll do that.
Scans indicate this structure is composed of a metal alloy with unprecedented integrity. No match is found in database. Performing structural analysis.
Yep, so it's like, well, okay. Look at this area. Look at this thing. I mean, it's clearly visible. It's clearly designed for people that aren't of the race to figure out what's going on, because you have this giant glowing thing. Although, let's be honest, any person with, like, you know, our understanding of stuff would look at this and be like, is it radioactive?
Unknown language. Attempting translation.
Okay, so I guess it doesn't say anything. Sometimes you get a thing and you go to start reading it, and then your PDA's digital, like Selma from Time Tracks, basically, she'll keep talking. So, alien data terminal discovered inside an alien facility. It was not possible to translate any useful information. However, scans have returned some information on the device itself. It is likely a solid-state computer, although there is no clear way to interface with it. On approach, it began producing a low-frequency radio wave containing complex but recognizable data patterns. It is likely the alien species which designed this technology evolved or genetically selected sensory apparatus to hear and understand the information being broadcast by the device and to communicate back. The mental processing power required to perform this kind of telepathy would imply that designers were considerably more psychologically developed than the common human. Assessment, further research required. Right on. And you can't actually click on it again. I mean, you can, but it does nothing. So there's two routes around the room, both lead to the same place. And you can run if needed, but, you know, it's more dramatic if we don't. So you approach this thing and it's like, hey, look at this. So we're going to scan it, figure out what it is. I mean, it tells me it's an ion cube. Let's take a look. This green mineral substance has no entry on the periodic table, and an unprecedented ability to store huge amounts of ionic energy within it. Likely grown artificially, cubic appearance suggests it has been cut from a larger deposit. Each cube contains the equivalent ionic energy of 5 kilotons of TNT. Under the right conditions, the energy could be released in a controlled manner. Likely used as batteries, but would require a substantial power source to be recharged. Assessment: valuable energy source. And if you look, you need these for your tablets. What is kyanite? Well, that's end of the game stuff, right? So we'll kind of... You know what? Vehicles. Cyclops, let's look at this. Look at that beauty. Cyclops is the most popular and reliable deep-sea submersible in the galaxy. By comparison to the... By comparison to the competition, it can be crewed by just one pilot, hence the name. Although, when you create it, it's like, don't try to pilot it yourself. You need at least 3 pilots or something along those lines. It features 3-speed manual piloting controls and forward observation deck for precision maneuvering. Dry dock for transportation, maintenance, and recharging of scouting vehicles. This thing is awesome. Extensive storage solutions in the keel hold sections. Internal and external video feeds. It doesn't actually have internal cameras. Although, it has like a hologram that shows the whole thing on the inside, so maybe. Onboard AI for threat detection. Extensive customization options. Advice for captains. Higher speeds generate additional noise which may attract undesired attention. Power consumption. Engine off 0. Slow. Standard. Flank 100%. Silent running mode may be activated in conjunction with any speed setting to reduce noise close to 0 at a substantial additional power cost. This thing chews through batteries. Cyclops upgrades may be fabricated at the terminal in the engine room and installed at the neighboring panel. Ratings: top speed, acceleration, replaceable power cells, dimensions, 54 meters long. Yeah. Persons 1 through 6. The Cyclops does not feature habitation quarters. It is recommended the captain drop a rota to decide who gets to sleep in the corridor each night. Automatic fire suppression. Hull damage and high speeds increase fire risk. Emergency ballast. In the event of a full system failure, this vehicle will sink. So I've never actually sunk the Cyclops, but we'll do it in this playthrough. Because apparently it leaves pieces behind. So that's kind of cool. Also, so the Cyclops, it's a big freaking sub. And it's less of a submarine and more of a mobile base. Like that's essentially the Cyclops' mission, right? It's not...
Analysis of the patterns on the walls cannot ascertain whether their purpose is aesthetic or functional. Further data required.
You never find out whether it's aesthetic or functional. But yeah, the Cyclops is not... It's less of a submarine and more of a mobile base. So that's its purpose. If you consider it as a mobile base, you'll be fine. If you consider it a submarine, you're going to be highly disappointed. Thankfully, though, most predators will actually not attack it. So bone sharks are arguably the most aggressive of all the predators, and they used to attack it on sight, and it would just get sunk over and over and over again and made it useless. So the devs updated and made it so that really the only things that attack it are like the higher level predators. Because bone sharks are fairly common, so the only things that'll really attack it are your Leviathan class and then the the crab squid. Okay, so we have another terminal here.
Unknown language. Attempting translation.
All right, enforcement platform schematic. This data set appears to be a multi-dimensional schematic of some kind. By mapping the pattern to 3-dimensional space, it is possible to gather a basic understanding of this facility's internal workings. The facility's unknown construction material is identified as an ultra-hard, non-reactive metal amalgam synthesized from off-world materials. There is no indication it can be damaged or destroyed by available means. The schematic indicates the facility was to be powered by a separate, self-sustaining power plant located elsewhere on the planet. The location is not listed, but there is evidence the designers intended to harness the plant's natural thermal energy. Right, so I think it would have been interesting if you could go into those thermal vents. I don't know if that was intended at one time. I didn't read all of the development logs and stuff like that, but I mean, I know it was possible. It was certainly possible. The facility consists of the upper engineering section, where the schematic was found, and the control room, which is accessed via a security-sealed elevator shaft or a separate underwater moon pool. The control room in the lower section houses the only known way to interface with the facility. However, the schematic does not detail the operation procedure or installed security measures. Okay. There you go. And thankfully you can, close these brackets, because otherwise that would be a real pain in the buttocks. And you're like, what is...
Your best probability of interfacing with this facility is achieved by accessing the control room in the lower section.
By the way, I'm glad that when you go side to side, you kind of stay level. My first playthrough for this channel was this Dishonored playthrough, and you kind of tilt as you move, and I got really motion sickness that's why I had to stop the first episode like 15 minutes in, because I was like, oh man, I don't feel good. But then I got used to it. Alright, so we're going to go for the control facility. What is this? What is this? And then it's like, oh crap. It's kind of neat, we actually do have a body. Alright. Force field control, because there's actually two ways. So this moon pool actually takes you out the back, and then that'll get you there. So what we're going to do first, how much power in this thing do I have? Right, so we're about 100 meters down. Yep. And we basically changed biomes right there, so we can hear the Leviathan going around. And my recommendation is just kind of look down around here, because the fragments show up in different places. Like, I've never had one on the beach before of the engine. Usually there's one just chilling out here. So check that. And then there's another gate right here, which, as far as we know, we can't turn that on at the moment. And so we'll just kind of look. What I do want to do is look around here a little bit first. And actually, where is my... Let's go for the sea moth real fast. Because there is something I want to do before we continue exploring the rest of that facility. Because remember, I said we're basically kind of following the plot a little bit. And, well... And honestly, this is cool as hell, like, seeing the little cubes or alien structures or whatever they are. Yeah, I'm kind of heading towards the surface. And there's a cave right there. So we're going to do a couple things first. We're going to check part of the... We're going to look on the other side of that. Yep, I know. I'm heading towards the surface. We're going to check the other side of that thing real fast. And also, we're going to check that cave system. Because there actually is something down there. And do you think I can scan one of those? No, they're too far away at the moment. And while we're at it, crap, are you kidding me? Oh, right. Well. Well, alright. We're good for now. The water goes faster. I swear this game makes me drink more water than anything else. Alright.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yep, so we're down to, you know, almost half, but that's not going to be an issue. Because we have the ability to make a moon pool. And so that will help. I love all the fish. Even though, like, these schools of fish aren't real. Okay, so there's actually a couple cave entrances. And thankfully, sea moth. Okay, right, this is the one that we want. There's another purple tablet down here. So we're just gonna go grab that. Now, even though the Reaper Leviathan still freaks me out. Oh, hang on. Which one is it? Which one are you? You're that one. Notice it has this trail following it. That makes it special. Enzyme host peeper. Yep, that trail right there. Also, this environment looks kind of different, doesn't it? Looks specifically, that's the end of the game area. Peeper specimen was observed emitting a faint fluorescent enzyme trail and engaging in unusual behavioral patterns. Peeper is actively approaching other creatures, including predators. Specimen is host to a bacterial infection, however the infection is currently dormant. The Peeper's stomach cavity contains an unknown enzyme of foreign origin. Oh, we got biters. Let's, yeah, even though you're reading, you can still get attacked and such, so we'll jump back in here. Unknown enzyme of foreign origin. Chemical analysis of enzyme. Bears some superficial similarity to the stomach enzymes of larger predators. Contact with the enzyme appears to inhibit the symptoms of bacterial infection. Complex structure renders synthesis impossible. Inhibit the symptoms of bacterial infection. Right. That's important. And another purple tablet. These are advanced theories, which is kind of cool. You know, kind of Dark Souls-esque in that that's how you... Oops, sorry. Whatever I hit. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, that's actually probably the biter. Little punks. Right, and that's another... Right. Like I said, multiple caves. Okay, so... we have to be careful, because this thing only goes down to 200 meters at the moment. Also, I have to be careful, because I don't super know where I am at the moment. I mean, I know where I am, relatively speaking, but being more specific, I mean... it'd also be nice if the sun were to come up. Okay, so my recommendation for this area is... okay, that's another... no.
Maximum depth reached.
Oh, okay.
Hull damage imminent.
Yep, no problem. No problem. So that is actually something else that you find down in here. What is it? Well, nuclear reactor. Part of the reason that in my first couple playthroughs, like I never built the nuclear reactor until I think my last playthrough. There's the biter. Biter likes you. What is a nuclear reactor? Well, I mean, it's, you know, pretty much what you think. Okay, so bioreactor, generally speaking, the first one you get. On planets where organic matter is plentiful but sunlight is not, a reliable bioreactor will frequently prove the most efficient power solution. It may be installed in any multi-purpose habitat room. So this is kind of the big hindrance to you at first. Multi-purpose habitat room. You need the actual multi-purpose room to build these things in. So the bioreactor and the nuclear reactor both take up a spot in your multi-purpose room. The thermal plant doesn't, but it's, you know, you have to build outside near a vent, so it's location specific. And also it requires, you know, more advanced materials. Chemically composts organic materials, converting them into energy over time. Accepts all plant matter from seeds and spores to moldy fruits and vegetables. Can also process animal matter, fat, muscle, eggs, etc., and some organic waste products. You actually find a creature, Leviathan class, and that banging is the biter. You find a Leviathan class walker that's like it's an herbivore, like the cows of the sea almost. And they basically just poop all over the place, and you can pick up their poop, and it's real, you know, for whatever that's worth, and you can stick it in the bioreactor, and it works really well. Energy production is proportionate to the calories in the organic matter. The bioreactor, totally organic. Yep. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's check out the nuclear reactor. There it is. It looks cool as hell. Renewable energy sources will usually be sufficient for maintaining a small outpost. For everything else, there's nuclear power. Powered by up to 4 replaceable uranium reactor rods. Do not attempt to replace reactor rods without a full radiation suit. So I've created reactor rods and I've put them in there, but I haven't taken out the spent ones. For everything that I've done, which is placing them and creating them and everything, you don't need a radiation suit. I don't know if taking the spent ones out and disposing of them requires one or not. We'll find out. Do not attempt to overclock the reactor. Yeah, that's good advice. Nuclear is ideal for energy-intensive operations such as self-sufficient colonies supporting more than 20 people, industrial outposts operating multiple docks and heavy machinery, research stations housing live specimens. Yeah, so each of your reactor rods is like 2,500 power or something ridiculous like that. It's pretty awesome, or maybe more. Like I said, I don't really use it, so I don't know. Thermal plant. The first rule of survival in hostile environments is to work with the resources available. If it's 800 degrees outside and you're in danger of burning to death at any moment, you may as well get some cheap, reliable energy out of it. It converts heat energy into electricity. Always take thermometer readings before attempting installation. Core mechanisms are housed in a heat-resistant chassis, but are not impervious to extreme temperatures. The thermal power plant. It's hot. Right, so there are some things that, like some temperatures that actually hurt you, or specifically hurt damage stuff. Man, that biter's really going at it. And so if you build it in a place like I've never built it in lava, but you shouldn't. Otherwise, anything else I think is fine. Alright, so let's just make sure I have everything that I need, because there's a... So we can't go too far. Luckily I have my rebreather, so we'll... Look at that bastard over there, you can kind of see the blue outline. Right, so if you stick to this area... Oh, well, yeah, watch out for getting burned. You have lithium... Oh, Magnetite. Well, I should have scanned that, I suppose. So this is one area where you can find Magnetite, and we'll check that out later because, you know, every second of oxygen counts down here. You'll notice a pretty good sized wreck. Okay. There's the Leviathan, like, right frickin' there. I'm surprised we can't hear his roar, to be honest. But we will. Grappling Arm Fragment. This is another place where you can get part of the prawn. Okay. What else? You gotta be kind of fast because we're gonna have to run. And maybe the circle is better for the scanner. Okay, so we got the grappling arm. What is this? Another part of the nuclear reactor. So if you need a nuclear reactor, this is where you go. And I think that's another part right there, but watch out for that guy. Okay, we're scanning this, and then we're going to head back to the sea moth. Boom, nuclear reactor complete.
Blueprint acquired.
Yeah, so I'm kind of basically trying to keep the
30 seconds.
trying to keep the thermal vents in between me and the Reaper Leviathan, because those things, they don't mess around. Yep. And that's the benefit. Okay, so we are going to actually fly, well, go a little bit closer so I can basically go straight up. Yeah, I know.
Depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Oh, yep. You take damage pretty quickly. Alright. It's always worth it to have one of these on you. And I don't know if I require a laser cutter, but... whatever. We'll put a...
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Just recharge my oxygen real fast and take a sip of coffee at the same time. Now, I don't know how much of that wreck I'm going to be able to explore. Because honestly, it's a good size, and I don't have a lot of time. I can't get my Seamoth, you know, really closer. So I'm just going to have to hit and run, so to speak. And look at that guy right there. Generally speaking, was that a nuclear reactor? Okay, it's not going to bother you. Nuke reactor, grappling arm. As long as you don't get too close. Okay, another nuke. And prawn thing. That's probably more of the nuke. Water I'll take. How am I doing? 87. Okay, more water, more nuclear reactor pieces. Man, there's a ton. The entrance is right there, and you're gonna have to cut it, of course. Alien containment. There you go. Awesome.
New blueprint acquired.
You know what? That's fine. We'll do this. Okay, we'll cut as much as we can. And why am I doing this now instead of exploring the rest of the, quarantine enforcement platform? That's a great question. Okay, gotta go. Where's my Seamoth? There we go.
30 seconds.
Because it advances the story a little bit, and by advancing the story, you essentially advance your infection, and warpers are drawn to creatures with the infection. See, this is where I wish I could just swap out my battery, but we can't, so whatever. Yeah, and that's... Seamoth is running low, or, well, starting to. So why come here? Well, because I can. I didn't realize that one was going to be the alien containment, but I have no objections to that. Because alien containment is awesome. That's what will let you... Oh, please tell me that's... Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, this is actually pretty big on the inside. Okay. Prawn suit, propulsion arm. So the prawn suit has a lot of different options. Okay, we got the... you can...
Please observe safety protocol CSP-21 before handling classified cargo.
Take an item. You can actually get part of the prawn suit right here. Boom. You'll notice there's an actual rest of the thing right here. And you can go in there. We don't have a lot of time. Scan the bed. Scan the shelves.
New blueprint acquired.
More base building stuff. Chic plant pot. Okay, we're heading back.
New blueprint acquired.
You want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time. The rebreather is really a lifesaver. And okay. I don't know how much of that. So the room with the bed and stuff will probably hit the rest of that up. I don't know how much of the rest of that, the vent, we're going to be able to find. Just because it is such a long, you know, I mean, it took me, you know, look how long. Okay. Propulsion Arm Fragment. You are now mine. Single wall shelf will take you.
New blueprint acquired.
This is all stuff we can scan without worrying about it later.
Blueprint
Thermal
acquired.
reactor module. Nice. Always handy. What is this? A basic plant pot. So there's like 3 or 4 different types of, you know, pots. And,
New blueprint
oh,
acquired.
2 types of beds. Do you want one with a quilt on it or one without a quilt? And there's something else. A plant shelf
Acquired.
for all of your planting needs, which is actually pretty helpful. Okay, and then there's that in through there. So we'll head back. I honestly don't remember. I think that's kind of turny. We might be able to get in there and clear that out, but we'll see. What are we at? About 30 minutes. Okay.
30 seconds.
Okay. And if you want to, you can always eat one of these. You're going to find more of them. Sure, why not? Yep, so at this point, this is kind of the point where you start building a base for yourself. You have your multi-purpose room. And that's really the thing you need to get started on your main base. Then you have the moon pool. That's a huge thing as well. Huge. Okay, yeah, see, this is kind of turny, but not too bad. It's just, it's taking, what, like nearly 30 seconds to get in here. So just be careful. Okay. So more food. You have another couple prawn soup fragments, so you don't even need to go to the Aurora necessarily. Okay, so we're almost done with our prawn. Anything else immediately that pops out? There's a door. There's another door that you can't get in. Any other little fragments? There's a kit or something right here. Okay, we're being kind of fast. Gotta be fast. Okay, I think that's it for now. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Because this is not the position to be in when you know, see what I mean? We're down to like almost 30 seconds already. Plenty of time.
30 seconds.
Yep, so we got 3 out of the 4 scans you need for the prawn suit. Normally the prawn suit is in the Aurora. But there's right here, which will give you a bunch of scans. And I believe there's another place in the, was it the floating islands? Okay, so that's one of your big wrecks. There is another one just over that way, not quite as big as this. And honestly, I can't remember what's in that one. It all seems to be somewhat random. The data boxes, I believe, are not. But, so right now, we're just gonna putter in here and find the rest of our little story for this place. And the answer is yes, you can actually get in here before, even if you don't go the other way. That's totally acceptable to do. Alright. So here you have an alien rifle. And the answer is no, you won't ever get this. Strong resemblance to human weaponry in form, this device must have been designed with a humanoid user in mind. Whether the aliens built this structure were themselves humanoid or otherwise employed the use of humanoids is unclear. What is clear is that they considered defending this facility a necessary precaution. There is no obvious way to remove the rifle from the case. It's kind of silly, isn't it? It's like we have a you have a rifle that you need to defend this place, but it's sealed. Magnetite is an iron oxide valued for its magnetic potential amongst other qualities. It is used in many Federation technologies, including sonar and torpedo systems. Assessment essential for advanced fabrication. They're not wrong. And let's we'll check out another one of the fauna, right? Large herbivores. Why not? Gasopod. This beauty. Threat level minimal. Wearing a gas mask. I like how they have like 1 and 2 and 3, or 1, 2, 3. And that matches with the 1 and the 2 and the 3 down below. Slow-moving life form and one of the larger herbivores on the planet. Providing a substantial meal to would-be predators, the gasopod protects its domain by filling the surrounding water with poisonous and corrosive pods, whose contents dissolve even synthetic fibers. Filtration system. Thick, non-reactive skin and multiple gill layers render this creature impervious to the noxious acid cloud it produces. Algae gland, a bulbous sac-like appendage on the rear end. A luminescent yellow algae grows inside the sac and produces the poisonous compound. Abdominal muscles can contract, causing the algae gland to emit the noxious compound into the surrounding water. Large pelvic fins, capable of powerful movement through the water when moving in small herds. Behavior. Gasopods appear to be social in nature and may even use their emissions in their relationship rituals. Their audible calls are likely signifiers of nearby threats or food sources. Assessment. Approach with caution. Acidic pods may be retrieved and repurposed. Yeah, you can use the acid pods to make torpedoes, I believe. Okay, I thought that was Leviathan Roar. Rabbit Ray. Because it has ears. And, fin, threat level 0-ish. An herbivorous aquatic life form, rabbit rays appear to live serene and solitary lives, with few predators, a natural sense of curiosity, and awesomely poisonous flesh. Ears, twin orange appendages mounted on the head sense vibration in the water. Undulating wings, markedly similar method of transportation to that of Earth rays. 0 genetic resemblance detected, suggesting these two species independently developed similar solutions to their environmental circumstances. Evidence indicates its large, side-facing eyes are relatively recent adaptations. It is likely there are related ray species in other environmental biomes on the planet. Assessment, inedible but harmless. Right. And our thing is full, so we'll drink some water. Alright. What is it? I've been reading, well, a little bit of reading on, the expansion that they're working on, the Arctic biome. And, supposedly there's going to be, a huge thing called a glow whale, kind of like the reefback. You have another alien arch, which we can scan. And the glow whales are basically going to, from what I understand, they're going to be giant rabbit rays. Alien arch. The structure's intended purpose is unclear. Theory zone function, ceremonial or religious role, industrial applications, advanced transportation network. Further research is required. Yep. Okay, so we'll just run. Okay, here's where the other ion cube was. I knew there was another one. And then you have this going up. So, I mean, I'll just tell you guys, those things are gates. I think I mentioned it before, but they'll let you teleport. And, oh. I'm full. You know what we'll do? Because we're going to use one of those anyway. We'll scan that in a second, that thing off to the right.
Scans indicate the facility's control room lies beyond this doorway.
Yep. Okay, force field control is now down. Or, well, the force field. The force field is down. It seems angry. Alien device. Doomsday device. Scans indicate this device contains enough potential energy to destroy the entire planet along with most of the solar system. Fortunately, it has malfunctioned. So the question remains, why do they have it? Well, I assume it would be because of the infection on the planet. Hence why they have the giant gun. Probably like the final solution, so to speak. How are we doing on time? We're at 41 minutes-ish. Alright, so here we are in a big room, and look at that thing. What is that? What is that? Well, we'll find out. Interact. No. I mean, we will, but not yet. Energy core. Yep. Oh, that's hard to see. Okay. Energy core. This device houses energy equivalent to 100 MT? Megaton? I assume that's megaton. 100 megaton nuclear detonation, which can be channeled through the facility and directed at vessels overhead, or bent around the planet's gravitational pull to strike targets in orbit. Power is routed via the attached terminal, allowing for the device to be deactivated if necessary. It is currently operating without parameters, suggesting it will target any ship within range. So I've seen that there was a question, or a lot of people have talked about a question, like why both the Aurora and the Degassi and the Sunbeam all get shot by this thing when it could shoot anywhere around the planet. And, well, I think in the Sunbeam, that's obvious it was coming for you. In case of the Degassi, it's just luck. Although, I mean, I suppose it could have crashed anywhere. They said they salvaged the ship and used that to build their bases. And as for the Aurora, well, it probably found or sensed some signal from the Degassi, or the former Degassi. And, you know, it was in the area, and that's why. I mean, it also comes down to luck as to why the Aurora crashed where it did, and you know, you'll see more. Basically, the edges of the map are a dead zone, so this is the only area on the whole planet, aside from the Arctic biome, where there's life. Let's interact with this thing. Seems like there's less invasive ways to do that.
The control panel is broadcasting a message. Translation reads, "Warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon. This planet is under quarantine."
So it makes sense. It assumes that if you're here, you're already infected. Although I think a simple...
Translating background broadcast.
Yep.
Downloading summary to databank.
There we go. Right, so up to this point you might have gotten all the little breadcrumbs and stuff. So if you do, it gives you this. Intercepted background data regarding further alien activities elsewhere on the planet. Disease Research Facility, depth 800. Location cave system with extensive fossil records, southwest of enforcement platform. It this is my biggest complaint. It's not... Okay, southwest, yes, but the entrance to this cave system is not southwest. The actual facility is, you know, southwest of the enforcement platform, about 800 meters down. But it got me really confused for a long time. I actually got really frustrated trying to find it. Other people, I've watched some other playthroughs, and other people have done very well. And other people have not. So, hard to say. Function, live specimen study. Objective, synthesis of antidote for highly infectious bacterium designated Kara, which I believe is a throwback to, was it Natural Selection 1 and 2? Which is what the guys from Unknown Worlds Entertainment, they've also developed those games. So this is kind of in the same universe. Thermal power facility, depth 1,200 meters, so we're going to be going deep, which is crazy because we can only go down 200 meters at the moment. Location, inside of an extensive natural rock formation in an area of intense volcanic activity. Function, generate energy for all local facilities. Sanctuary A, B. Offsite laboratory, data corrupted. All these are data corrupted. Primary containment facility, data corrupted. But I'll show you all these, don't worry. Primary containment you're going to get to at the end of the game automatically. I mean, that's just where the end of the game takes place. In the event of an outbreak, quarantine procedures will be automatically enforced with immediate effect. The quarantine enforcement platform will target all incoming and outgoing craft to prevent the spread of infection off-world. That's kind of interesting. Because it's already spread off-world. They came to this planet to find a cure. So, codes and clues, I kind of like how they add that section. But yeah, it's already spread, so it's not, you know, they're worried about containing it, but I'm not sure if they ever contained it on the other worlds. They mention you find like a little data, you find a data terminal at some point. It's like, you know, we started this research facility to find the cure after like 80 billion, I don't know if it was 80 billion people died or 80 billion worlds died, but it was a lot. It was a lot of the precursor civilization was wiped out by the infection. Yeah, and we got some frame drops. That's too bad. I think it's rendering the whole structure at once, which is why. I mean, it's beautiful. Alright, back to our sea moth.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So now, we could go to that one. But I think what we're going to do right now is first return back to the pod and get that other message, because, you know, there's no more messages coming from the sunbeam. And that's not a doorway. Alright, so let's head back to the pod and maybe start building ourselves a base. We'll see what that other message is first, but yeah, at this point it's like, you're going to be here a while, you've probably got the multi-purpose room, you may as well build yourself a base, like actually start. There's the Aurora over there as well. Hang on, it didn't tell me to do a self-scan. Or did it? Did I just miss that? Yeah, that's that. That's just the...
Please observe Safety Protocol CSP-21 before handling classified cargo.
That's all that thing was, is just that statement. We have all these. It didn't say... Infected individuals may not disable the weapon. Let's do that. It doesn't say... I thought it said do a self-scan.
Self-scan complete.
There you go.
Bacterial infection in your system is progressing. Detecting skin irritation and immune system response. Further data required to identify bacterial strain.
Yep. So it's like, okay, we're infected, and that progresses the story a little bit more. And every time you get another little hint that you're infected, or anything that it tells you about the infection, the warpers become a little bit more aggressive. To the point where at the end of the game they're a real pain in the butt. Like real bad. Alright, so we're getting towards the end of this episode. We have, a few minutes left. I do want to hit this radio. There's that wreck that we passed. I love the fact that it has headlights. That's just cool. I mean, it makes perfect sense, because this is kind of like a stealth horror game. Alright. So we're at about half power for our sea moth. What do we have? We have like 2 bottles of water. We got some food. That's all fine. Okay. Anything I can fabricate? No, not really. Not with this stuff. Let's listen to the message.
High priority automated message from Aurora Live Pod 13 coordinates attack. Live Pod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yoki Kassar. I said Kassar. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Send immediate burial detail.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Yeah, that's not good. So there was one of the things that mentioned that Emissary Kassar was, like, he knew the Torgals, I believe. And so his reason for coming is to help. I mean, he's an emissary, so he's there on behalf of the, Altera Corporation to kind of form, well, to help look for them, but also to help smooth over relationships. Because Altera and Mongolia, they don't really get along too well. So that is actually probably... Oh, okay. Right, that makes sense. I'm a little more north than I thought. Hey, guy. Boom. Alright. Let's scout out our base. I thought I was gonna make it up at the northern thermal vent, but then I was just like, let's build it near Stonehenge. Right? Right. That thermal vent seems to be a little bit closer to the surface. And it just looks, Stonehenge is cool. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Where's the fish? There's one of them. Okay. Dead boomerang. I'm sorry. I will make sure you don't go to waste. How about that? Alright, so it's over here somewhere. See, I even thought about leaving a beacon. I was like, do I need a beacon? No, I'm gonna build it at the other location. And then I looked at the other location and I'm like, you know what, I've built it here a bunch of times. I may as well build it at the other one. I'll find it. It's just gonna take me a second. There it is. Cool. Okay, so where do we want to build? Where do we want to build? so reefbacks. Oh, sorry, Peeper. Please don't. No, you're fine. Okay, cool. Please don't be dead. I can't handle running into multiple things in one day. I suppose we could just build it over here-ish. Gives us some, a little bit of depth for the moon pool. Oh, and there's another peeper of the enzymes. Another enzyme peeper. Yep, old, dead, rotten, dead. Peeper, old, dead boomerang. Good times. Good times. Okay, so... that is a bit away. We'll leave ourselves a little beacon right here. Now, I'm reasonably certain... say, future base. I'm reasonably certain that that stalkers won't go after it. We'll change that to orange. There was a point where I was trying to map out the entire map because I figured that eventually you'd be able to scan for the time capsules. Because when they first released it, the time capsules had been implemented, but it wasn't perfect. There was still issues with them, and so I was like, oh, okay, one day you'll be able to scan for these things. I don't think you can. I don't think you can still. So, you know, I found like the very zero of the map, the very middle. I put a little marker there, I built my first base there, and then I, you know, drove out to, or swam out to like 1,000 meters each way and dropped beacons, so that way I'd be able to triangulate my exact position and did all that stuff. And it was kind of neat. But it didn't really do a whole lot with the purple tablets, because we're not going to need those for a minute. Same with the magnetite and the lithium. Okay, that's good. Okay, in the meantime, we don't have very much titanium. We'll take the quartz and the copper. We'll take the lead. We don't need the ingot. We will need more titanium. Sustenance. Let's cook some of these dead fish. And hopefully it cooks the dead peeper first instead of the healthy one. No, it went for the full peeper first. Oh well. Okay, well. More water, I suppose. So we need salt. We're gonna need, watch out for that thing. Let's just pick a direction. So we're gonna need more titanium, salt, and, one of you. Because you always want to keep water on you if you can. Just because it does go so quickly. Oh, well, there's a crash fish. Did I ever scan you? No, I didn't. Son of a... Whatever, I'll take the cave sulfur. And... Sure, we're good on the water for now. Those things are evil, by the way, the crash fish. If you ever have a problem scanning them, like if you don't want to get blown up, what you can do is just... You know, my recommendation, I suppose, would be alien containment. Grow an egg in it, and then the crash fish will be tame. And then you just get in there and scan it in there. Oh, there you go, Reactor Rod. We haven't seen uraninite crystals yet. I guess uranium crystals is just too much. Okay, you know what? We'll stop here. Climb the ladder, survey our future home, future base right there. We'll stop here. Next time we'll go through some of the base building stuff, and we'll that'll probably take the base building's not too bad. But it is resource intensive, so there might be a lot of scavenging and that sort of thing. But as always, guys, seriously, thanks for your time. Thanks for spending your time with me and your attention. And any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, whatever, let me hear them. Write a comment in the area below. Hope to see you guys next time. And as always, guys, take care.